Hey TechDweeb, what you got there? What, this? This is just my Miyoo Mini. It's like a tiny little Game Boy that plays all my old favorite retro games. No, I mean that black cube thing. What the heck is that about? Wait, you can see the cube? Yeah? But no one else can see the cube. Really? Yeah, and I'm sorry, but I have some bad news. What? If you can see the cube, that means it's chosen you. Chosen me for what? Cube stuff. What's cube stuff? Oh, you know, a bit of this, a bit of that, whispers in the dark, weird dreams, your blood will start to change color a bit. That sounds terrifying. Why are you being so casual about this? Well, I mean, it's hard to worry about anything when you have a Miyoo Mini, you know? Yeah, you do. Hey there, how's it going? I'm TechDweeb, welcome. Thanks for clicking on the video today. Don't worry, this isn't going to be another dark cube video. I put him back in the friend zone where he can't hurt me. But this video isn't about that terrifying little thing. It's about this adorable little thing. The Miyoo Mini, my favorite thing in the world. The Miyoo Mini is a legend in my life, but I made a video recently that was a goodbye to the Miyoo Mini because they're not making them anymore. So once the current stock is gone, that's the end of it forever. That video is one of my favorite videos that I've ever made, I think. I was really proud of it. I told a special story. I gushed about the Miyoo Mini. I think a bunch of you picked up Miyoo Minis because of it, since I've been getting tons of comments in my older videos asking how to do stuff. So I figured it's time for one final Miyoo Mini video. How to do all the best stuff. Install Onion OS, customize it, unlock some sneaky features, and get the most out of this little guy. The first chunk of this video will be all about installing Onion OS, and the second chunk will be about how to customize stuff. Tips and tricks and extra things you can do. Also, this whole video applies to the Miyoo Mini Plus as well, which is like the bigger brother to the Miyoo Mini. And the Miyoo Mini Plus is still in production. You can still get that at any time. The Plus has the same internal hardware as the Mini, except the Plus has Wi-Fi, so you can do a few extra cool things like retro achievements and multiplayer. We're not going to get into that here though. Just like the Dark Cube, which we shall not speak about. Did you hear that? We're not talking about you. Me? No, the Cube. I have a headache. Yeah, that's your life now. Before we get into the guide part, let's go over what Onion OS actually is, why you'd want it, and why I talk like this. Onion OS is a modified version of the stock system with a ton of extra tweaks and features added, new emulators, an updated front end and menu system, more settings, and some extra apps like the Game Switcher app and the quick resume function for when you boot right into your last game, and a media player to watch movies, music player, custom themes, more shortcuts and PC ports, an activity tracker, blue light filter, screen recorder, a random game picker. Oh, there's so much. It's a bit of work to get it installed and set up, but it's not crazy. Totally doable by anyone, including you. And it is so worth doing. And I talk like this because I'm just doing it to annoy you, obviously. That said, not everyone is up for any amount of work, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Lit NXT has these custom Onion OS cards that are preloaded with Onion OS all set up for you, ready to rock. And they come preloaded with games too. Lots of us like to tinker, but lots of us don't, and if you want a shortcut to having a great system, I can't recommend these cards enough. So I'll put a link below if you want to pick one up. It's kind of crazy how much they managed to squeeze in there. It's like a black hole of fun. What is it, TechDweeb? The cube? I don't know. Maybe it's also some sort of like black hole or whatever. Does it consume things? Yeah, mostly light, hope, my cat, I think, and also a bag of Funyuns that I left too close to it. That's horrible. I know. I love those Funyuns. And with all that out of the way, let's check out how to install this thing. Aw, darn, I'm out of battery. Let me charge up my device real quick. Are you still charging your devices like it's 1993? Well, maybe you should check out the Ugreen Nexode 165-watt retractable power bank. It's fast. Like, charge a 14-inch MacBook Pro from 0% to 54% in just 30 minutes fast. And with 3 ports, you can charge your whole backpack simultaneously. Whoa, check this out. Boing. Yep, that's right. There's a built-in retractable USB-C cable with over 25,000 pulls tested. I'll be the judge of that. With a massive 20,000 milliamp hour capacity, you can fly with it and charge your iPhone 16 3.8 times. And with this fancy pants smart display, I can finally pretend I understand what charging numbers mean. Also, if you like the Nexode retractable series, check out its little brother, the Nexode 65-watt retractable charger. Same retractable magic like a hassle-free travel power kit. I don't leave my house. And make sure you check out the Ugreen Prime Day deals in the description below. Up to 40% off, because you deserve power without spaghetti. But let's assume that you're starting from scratch, and we'll do a fresh install of Onion OS right now and get it set up so you can see the process from start to finish. You'll want a fresh card. I recommend a 128GB card, and I'll include a link to my favorite card and my favorite card reader in the thingy below as well. I'll also have a link to the Onion OS wiki because they have a very detailed walkthrough of how to do this. We need to format our card to FAT32. The way that we do this is with a program called Rufus, and in there you just need to select your SD card from the list and set the boot section to be non-bootable. Make sure the file system is set to large FAT32. That's everything else can stay at default, and then you can click start and that will format the card. When that's done, you can close that. Next, we need to copy over the Onion OS files. You can grab the Onion OS zip file that you need from the GitHub link below, and then you can extract that, and in there will be a bunch of folders, and all you need to do is drag those folders over to your new SD card. And that's all you need to do here, so you can eject your SD card, pop it into your Miyoo Mini, and fire it up to start the install. So when you start up your Miyoo Mini, you're going to be greeted by the Onion install screen. Let it do its thing, and then you're going to find yourself at the package manager. This is where you choose which systems are going to be available to use on your device. Don't worry, you can always come back here later. Here's a list of the systems that I choose. Then once you select those, you can press R1 to go to the app section, and there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that you may or may not want. I enabled everything in here. And then the expert tab is where you get extra emulators that aren't integrated into the default Onion list, but you still might want them for specific reasons. When you're done, press start, and it'll go through and install all that stuff you selected, and then it'll reboot, and yeah, that's it. Now you're in Onion OS. Nice, but we're not ready to poke around yet because we don't have any ROMs yet. So just obtain some games somehow and then shut down your Miyoo Mini by holding the power button, and then take your SD card over to your PC, and in there is a ROMs folder, and then in that is some other folders where you're going to add your games. Also, you may need BIOS files. However, the vast majority of systems don't need BIOS files. I literally needed 0 BIOS files for any of the games that I added, including PS1. So I suggest that you add your games and try them out, and if the games from one system don't work, it may be a BIOS file issue and you can add the BIOS just for that system. So when you're done adding your games, eject your card, shove it back into the card hole on your Miyoo Mini, and then boot it up, and now we're ready to have some fun. There is no fun, only an empty void. Wow, you really got cubed up fast, huh? I am a vessel of darkness. That's nice. Want to play Blades of Steel? Back in Onion, and if we get to the games list, we'll see all the systems added, and in those are the games, and the games just work. When you're in a game, you can use these shortcuts to do stuff. However, one of the best parts about Onion OS is that by default, it is set to use the game switcher. This means that when you're in a game, you can press the little middle button here, and it'll take a snapshot of your screen, save your state, and then in this menu, you can cycle through the games that you've played recently. You can also quickly change the brightness up and down in this menu too, FYI. You can access this menu at any time, even from the main menu. Also, if you double tap this button, it'll quickly switch to the last game you played. Also, this is so cool. When you're in a game, you can hold the power button and the doodad will shut down, and then the next time you power it on, you're going to be taken instantly into your game. This is probably the best feature of Onion OS right there. You can open up the RetroArch menu with the middle button and the select button, and in here, you get access to all the advanced stuff like screen ratios and bezels and filters, and we'll talk more about that stuff in a bit. And now you're set. You have Onion OS and you can play your games. That's the most important thing, but that is not all we can do on the Miyoo Mini. No. There is so much more than that. First off, let's change the theme. Here in the apps section, you can find this theme browser. Select this and you'll be able to browse through the themes that come pre-installed with Onion OS. Number 25 is the TechDweeb theme, by the way. Press A to enable it, and then your doodad will look all dweebish. Nice. Also, there is other versions of the TechDweeb theme. You can download those from where I have them hosted on Patreon. link below. You don't need to be a paid member to access those. It's a public post, so you don't need to support me and my work and help me make better videos by signing up for my Patreon. Definitely don't need to do that. I have several flavors of the theme available, including an all-new DMG dungeon version, which is meant to look like an old Game Boy DMG colorway. You can download any of those and extract them each to their own folder in the themes folder of your SD card, and then they're going to show up in the theme browser, and you can pick them. Neat, huh? Also, there's a custom app to change the boot logo of your device. However, it's a bit outdated and it doesn't work with the latest Miyoo Mini firmware. However, it actually does work. It just requires an updated SH file. You can update it yourself if you check out the GitHub instructions, or you can download my updated version. And I also included all the actual logos for each colorway of my theme in there. So just download the logo tweak program, extract it to the root level of your SD card, and then download my update and extract that to the root level of your card. Say yes if it asks you to overwrite any files, and then you can eject your card, boot it up, go to the app section, and in there will be a logo tweak program, and then you can run that and pick whichever logo you want from the list. And you should see my updated logos there too. I should mention that there is a very minor risk of bricking your device while doing this, so use it at your own risk. I've done this on every Miyoo Mini I have, but I make no promises. Unlike the Dark Cube, it promised to never let me go. Same. I feel the warmth leaving my body. Oh yeah, that's totally a thing. It's like free air conditioning for your heart. Next up, we gotta talk about scraping artwork. Your games lists are pretty boring without some nice logos and screenshots, right? There's a bit of a more involved process, so I suggest you check out the wiki and follow along step by step because that goes into more detail than I can here. However, I'll give you the short version. Buckle up, this is gonna go fast. You'll be using a program called Scraper. Download that and install it. You'll need a screen scraper account and you can log into that here and then select recall box, and then you check this box too, and then you select your ROMs folder on your SD card. Not every system will show up in the list, so you'll need to manually add the ones that are missing and pick their correct folder location. You'll probably also want this custom scraper mix because it's so good, and you can download that through the wiki guide. Just download that file and extract it to the mixes folder of your scraper installed directory. And then back in Scraper, select all systems on the left and then delete the fetched media using the minus button, and then add one single fetched image and then change the media type to user provided mix, and then pick the Miyoo Mini Big Zoom.xml file that we added and change the output folder to /imgs with a capital I. Just like this. Make sure the rest of your settings look like this, and then click the play button at the bottom and it will scrape the heck out of your library. Once you're done, you can pop that card back in your Miyoo Mini and yeah, there you go. Some nice, lovely big game art for your games. How cool is that? I'll answer for you. It's awesome. One last bit of customization I want to touch on is overlays. To get this going, open the RetroArch menu with the middle button and select, and then down to on-screen overlay, and then down to overlay preset. And in here, you can see that there's a bunch of overlays for lots of systems. We want GBA right now. In here, most of these will add an LCD grid to the image, so you can try those if you want to see that. But I want this offset overlay, and I'm going to go with border only. I don't like LCD grids on my GBA games. However, that's not going to work correctly because Onion has a special filter that needs to go with this overlay. So if we back out to the main menu and then down to settings and then video filter, and in here there's a GBA folder which contains a special filter for overlays filter. So select that and go back to the game, and now you can see that we have this nice nostalgic GBA logo at the bottom and the image is offset upwards, just like how it is on the GBA SP. If you like the overlay and filter that you choose, you can open the RetroArch quick menu and then go down to the overrides option and select Save Core Overrides, so that this setting is going to be remembered each time you load up a GBA game in this core. You can also do the same thing with Game Boy Color, a few others. You can also apply a CRT overlay for your 4x3 stuff. Lots of stuff is included here by default for you to experiment with and tinker. What does it want, TechDweeb? The cube? I don't know. Probably power or whatever. Will we ever be free? We're free right now, but I don't feel free to play more retro games. I miss being happy. Oh, chill out, you big baby. It's only been like 10 minutes. There is a ton more you can do on your Miyoo Mini with this setup. We barely scratched the surface, but there's so many extra things you can explore with Onion OS that are ready to go right away. I love the random games tool to load up something totally random off your card when you don't know what to pick. You can add DOS games and play those through DOSBox. I made a whole video about playing DOS games on your handhelds if you need to know how to do that. And ports, there's an entire ports collection here that is ready to go on Onion OS. You can read ebooks. I actually love this, reading books on my retro handheld. I love the idea so much I made a video about just this topic. Watching movies, Onion OS comes with a media player and you can load up your favorite cartoons or whatever and turn your Miyoo Mini into a little TV. And music, of course. This thing can be a little music player. It has a wired headphone hole too, obviously, so this can double as a portable MP3 player with a built-in speaker. And if you have a Miyoo Mini Plus, you can play multiplayer games. And you can even do link cable stuff, like battle Pokemon or play multiplayer GBA games. That only works with the Miyoo Mini Plus because you need Wi-Fi for that, and you'll need 2 Miyoo Mini Pluses, obviously. I only have one, so I can't show that to you, but the option is there if you want to. And as always, check out the wiki if you want to know more about that. I could talk all dang day about stuff you can do on the Miyoo Mini, which is honestly the reason I love it so much. It's tiny and cute and it lives in my pocket, and it's my little retro Swiss Army knife of fun. It does so much, including giving me access to the greatest library of games known to man. It is honestly a magical piece of tech. I'm sad that it's going away, but there's still a few shops who sell them, which won't last long. I know Lit NXT just has the black one in stock, which is actually sweet because the black one is awesome. I have some custom buttons, these orange ones, and I made myself an orange and black TechDweeb version. Oh, and of course, accessories and mods. You can deck out your Miyoo Mini in all sorts of fun ways. Custom buttons, fun cases and extra stuff. And Etsy, there's a store that I bought an upgraded speaker from, Retro Mini Supply. And they also gave me a nice lanyard and some other stuff. Really nice, friendly people running that shop. So I'll include a link to them below as well if you're looking to get some new gear for your Miyoo Mini. Like, what a special little thing. I feel so lucky to have the Miyoo Mini in my life. I love this thing more than anything, and I hope now that I've shown you how to make it more amazing than ever, you're gonna love yours even more too. If you have a Miyoo Mini, then count yourself among the lucky few who were able to snag one. And if you have a dark cube in your basement that is slowly taking over your thoughts and is now infecting your friends and family, then a Miyoo Mini is the best way to forget about your troubles and play some good old games to keep the darkness at bay for those few brief moments of happiness that the cube allows you. Speaking of which, that's all the fun I'm allowed to have today. Back to the void for me. I'm TechDweeb, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.